You already start?
I did start.
Okay, so you know what's like sorry to Nick because you're not included in this one, but you know it's like a normal dad thing to do to like purposely say stuff that's like meant to teach you like lessons, but it's just like annoying and repetitive and just like cookie cutter and stuff.
No, I
Well,
don't
was asked
understand that.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah, that's why you're being left out.
Yeah.
Left out, guys.
Like you're dead from your thing.
I was texting my dad because one of his clients
Oh,
is like
shit.
a few blocks from my dorm, and I was saying I wanted to get a like another job because he said a while ago when he did work for them that they were saying since they knew I was gonna be going here, I could get like a job with them. I was like, oh, do you know if they still like want a job? Because my current job, I have like 1 hour a week, and that's not cool. And he said, well, if you save more money, you wouldn't need another job. And I said, well, even when I saved money, I still probably would have wanted more hours because 1 hour is nothing. And instead of thinking of any like of his own things to say in response, because the whole, well, you saved your money, because that's a pretty like standard thing to say, he just responded with okay.
Wait, that's
Like-
base though.
He did the fucking. My dad was just fucking based when I was trying to like. I'm pretty sure the right thing to do there was probably to like give me some other like stereotypical lame thing, but instead he just said okay.
Oh, that's epic.
I mean, it was pretty epic, but like, no, it's just epic.
Indeed.
Hey, question about the podcast.
Yes.
That we're recording.
The one that
right
we're
now.
recording right now.
The one that you're in.
I'll
as
introduce
we
it in a
speak.
second, don't worry.
I didn't realize we
Yeah.
started.
Is the
Hi,
echo gonna be a
Oh yeah, we
problem?
started.
Is the echo?
Is the echo going to be a problem?
I don't think so.
There's no echo for me.
It's only a problem if you make it one.
Wait, did y'all record an introduction?
I'm-
There's no
but I
way you
think-
would.
No, no,
record
no.
that.
I will
using
in a
this
second.
Before the introduction.
Nick
Yeah.
not having a dad is an introduction.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Syndicate of Mountain Idiots. And today's episode is lovely because we start off by exploring my lack of father.
You should get one of them. They're pretty
So,
cool.
guys, remember,
yeah,
if
they're
Nick
okay.
ever says something that you're just a little bit triggered by, he didn't grow up with a dad. It's not his fault.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
For
It's-
example, if I
Maybe
said the
racist.
N-word at this moment, it would obviously be my dad's fault.
Yeah, yeah.
or
And he's
lack
already
thereof.
in prison, probably.
He might
so-
be. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to kick off today's episode with my favorite thing in the world. Guys, are you fucking ready for this?
Oh,
I'm
boy.
ready.
We're going to
What
discuss music today.
Ooh.
I see.
Is that
Okay,
the only thing
okay.
we're discussing, or are we gonna do some updates to
We're-
what we've been watching too?
We
Oh, we
we
ditched
could
it. I
lead
got a
off
lot
with
to
that.
say.
You know, like a little
Lead
bit of
off with
small
that?
talk. We could lead off with that, and then we get into the
'cause I
nitty gritty.
I got some
I
shit
know
to
Andrew's
say. I got an
itching to
update
talk.
to the last episode too. Does anyone want to go before me?
Nah,
I have my own stuff to say, so I'm.
I mean, I
for a
could
bit.
go. I'll go
Alright.
before you. I
haven't
got like
watched anything this
Yeah.
past
I've
week.
just
Yeah,
I
got
watched
nothing.
another episode of Demon Slayer.
Ooh.
Or actually,
Really
since the
grinding
last
through
recording,
this
I
shit.
watched quite a few more. And honestly,
Did we talk about it in the last one?
we did. We talked about it in the first
bit,
one, I
yeah.
think.
Okay.
I don't like that show, but it's not bad.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what Drew and I said. It's like,
Yeah.
it's the most like 5 or 6 out of 10 show ever. It's like it's so inoffensively plain.
It's a
It's
perfect like
It's a show.
it's a perfect like
If it
part
exists,
one
shonen.
Naruto type thing. It's like
If it
It's
existed
like
in a
well-paced
vacuum,
Naruto,
completely
but with no
separate
interesting
from its
characters.
fans, then it would be good.
Well, to be fair, it's only 26 episodes. You're not even 26 episodes in. Naruto, if you look at that 26 episodes in, probably
Bro,
maybe just as disinteresting.
nothing happened.
Although that
they
has
they
some
like
really bad
maybe
pacing.
finished the bridge arc at that point. That
See,
show is so
In
horribly
episode 20
paced.
You keep talking. I'll see what episode 26 was.
All right.
I know in the 20s is either when the Zabuza arc ended or like around when it started, like the bridge part of the arc.
Let's see. Episode 26.
Actually, what are the
Uh,
odds
What's the
that
chance it's a filler?
you know what? I'm gonna
No, wait, no, no.
I'm
I'm gonna
For
turn my
what if any
volume-
filler?
I'm gonna turn
It
my
didn't?
volume in Minecraft
Not
like
until
off.
after one.
It just
Okay.
came to me that there's a
One
chance that the recording picks up all sound that my game is making, and I really wouldn't like that.
Turn your sound
Too
down.
bad.
Yeah, I did. I turned it off, but we're not starting over.
I wasn't
makes
gonna.
sense. All right. So, anything else you've been watching, Nick?
Yeah, bit of JoJo's. Worth rewatching part 4. God, it's so good.
Okay.
I don't think you ever gave us an update on while we were recording about rewatching part 5. What'd you think of it now?
Oh my god. I have the same complaints as before, but I thought it was really good.
What are your complaints? I don't remember that.
Okay, very simple. Actually, I got some new complaints too. Complaint number 1. I think Giorno's a very uninteresting character.
That's as a character himself, I agree. I think the story around him is interesting, but as just a character,
It's
what he
just all the
does,
side characters are like awesome, and Giorno's
Yeah,
just like
they
there.
kind of
You know
overshine
what I
him.
mean? Like I thought Mista was fantastic, super epic. His backstory was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Like he was like, oh yeah, he like
his
got lucky
stand
and, like,
lame,
just
but
didn't
his
get
ability
showers.
awesome.
His stand is so cool.
No, the physical stands themselves are kind of annoying.
They're awesome. They're so cool.
Dude, whatever. We mentioned we'd be
they're
spoiling
annoying as
shit. They're
shit.
pretty fucking annoying. All they do is cry and say Mista.
That's their
And that's a
charm.
literal
No.
perfect reproduction of how they sound.
That was pretty good.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that's about it. That's all I can
What
say
about,
really. Giorno's kind of annoying or kind of
interspecies
boring.
Reviewers?
I haven't gotten to finish that yet. I got no complaints there though. Oh yeah, one more complaint. Thought Part 5 was pretty lamely animated. That's a word, right? Lamely.
I don't know. I don't
Sure.
remember enough
I
about
wouldn't
the
say
animation
lamely. You just
specifically.
you probably just didn't.
No,
like
it's just
the change in
because
style.
now
I
that
didn't
I'm
either,
watching,
really.
it's just now that I'm watching
Whatever.
Part 4 again, like the animation itself decreased in quality. Like I was watching
That's
Part
what
5,
it
like
was.
it kind of,
Part four
it just kind of feels like I'm
particularly
watching
good
frames
animation,
being
to be
put
fair.
onto screen. It's like, what's the house husband? What is that? Way the House Husband? I saw the
Yeah.
trailer for that, and holy shit, you guys were right. It's like
Yeah.
watching a flip book. It's horrible. Not even a
That's
flip
like
book would
what
look
Record of
better.
Ragnarok is like.
Yeah,
But
Record
like
of
Part
Ragnarok,
5
not
just
the
kind of
entire
felt
way, but
like
has parts
it was
like
like
that.
manga pages barely given life.
Yeah.
What? You shut up. You're really loud. Deal with it. We're gonna cut that out.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
I
Wait,
hope we
who's doing the editing?
can.
Not me.
Andrew.
Who is?
Andrew, I feel like that might wind up being a mistake.
No, it's gonna be great. Don't worry about it.
Alright, back
What-
to the
what have we-
thick of
So
it.
what have we been like? I'm curious. What have we been like cutting out so far? Because we cut
Oh,
out that. We cut out that
I
person's name.
re-listened through all of the second episode. I'm not cutting a thing.
Oh my
You're not
God.
the
cutting a
only-
thing?
The only bad part of that episode, well, I might trim the side so it
I
starts.
think you
and
also
ends well.
trim the ending because I think we recorded a little
Yeah,
too long
yeah.
at the end.
Yeah, but beside that, the only bad thing about episode 2 was for some reason the sound quality was really shit, and there was a constant buzzing sound in the background. But if I get to fix that, maybe I don't know how I would, but
I could probably
If
fix
I-
that.
If you're not cutting anything, if I were to
If I
shout
just put
my
the sound bit
address,
in
phone
FL, I could
number,
probably,
and
like,
social
EQ
security
that shit out.
right now, you wouldn't cut it out.
Dylan, we're friends. I would.
My
but
address
don't
is
do-
Park. My phone number.
And we're back.
No-
Say that again.
Why would you? do
No, wait,
that?
wait, Dylan, wait, I need to get out of
My
country.
friend is doxing himself right now, and I'm going to allow him to.
Come at me, bitches. I'm 2 weeks into learning Kokikai Aikido. I'll take all of y'all down.
You know what? Never mind. Who cares?
You definitely said that.
Who else
wrong
is
this
watching
fast.
something cool?
I am. We'll let Andrew save the best for last because I know he's
Yeah, I
really
got a lot to
itching.
talk about.
Let's make him wait a little bit longer. So
Really
I'm
football
watching.
me, huh?
We are. It's exactly what we're doing. I'm watching more Moriarty the Patriot. Still haven't finished it. Haven't watched
really?
much this last episode. No, I
It's
took a
only
bit of a
11
break
episodes,
to,
isn't it?
It's
Well, there's
24
two
episodes.
seasons.
Season 1 is
Oh.
11. I finished season 1 a while ago. But only watched like one episode of season 2 at that point, and now I'm getting back into season 2, and it's just as good as I remember. I don't know why I didn't think it was all that popular. I thought it was just me, but it's got a pretty high rating on Mount. It's like an 8.11, I think, for season 2, and 8.15, I want to say, for season 1, somewhere along that. But pretty high ratings, and for a good reason. It's just really solid. It's really good. Got some cool like twists and turns and stuff, and just a really cool payoff. And it's from the bad guy's perspective, which there hasn't been like a popular show that's done that well for a while. There's been
There's
shows
that
do
movie.
Which movie?
Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows.
I haven't seen that. I've been talking about anime.
Yeah, whatever.
I haven't seen.
It's
Game
not
of
like in
Shadows.
media Moriarty's never been like.
Yeah, no, he definitely
explored.
has. But I'm saying at least in anime, it hasn't been a popular from the bad guy's perspective for a while. Though honestly, the
Oh, you mean
first
just in
season's like,
general?
yeah. There's been some
Yeah,
that have
fair
been
enough.
known, but I wouldn't call things like Redo of Healer popular per se. Also, I watched
Also,
Angel
is he
Beats.
really the bad guy?
That's
Okay.
actually the thing. They're really wanting you to not think he's the bad guy, even though he like starts the first episode by like staging a murder. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, I was talking about the Redo of Healer guy.
Oh, okay, no, okay. Yes, he's a bad
Nah,
guy.
some people like to pretend he's not. I think everybody
I
knows.
relate to him because
Oh,
I too wanted
Jesus.
to slap a girl in the face with my dick.
And I
Yeah,
implore
That's all I
everybody
know
to
about that
search up.
show.
You could literally say that exactly in Google, and you probably get the right result.
Angel Beats too. I finished Angel Beats. And people are gonna be mad when I say this, and that's exactly why I'm saying it. Because I want to know. I so badly want to know, why do people like that show? There have been shows like, for instance, Demon Slayer. I know why people like Demon Slayer. It had pretty good animation. It had a regular show and plot. I don't understand why it's as popular, but I still understand why people like the show.
It was
For
right time,
me,
right place.
yeah,
right time
I do think it was
Slayer.
also a bit
It
of
got
just dumb luck.
mainstream attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely a good chunk of dumb luck there, but I understand why people like it to begin with. Regardless of how much they like it, I understand that. Angel Beats, I don't know why anyone thinks it's a watchable show. If you've seen Charlotte, and you didn't like Charlotte, imagine, or even if you like Charlotte, just imagine Charlotte.
If you
a
like
bit
Charlotte,
better, a
why?
tiny bit better.
I would love to know.
That's another question. If you like Charlotte, I also want to know why that. But this is just like Charlotte.
Wait, Charlotte was pretty decent until the last episode.
Was it?
No, okay, no.
What?
The first 9
Was it?
episodes could have been condensed into about 5 minutes.
It was
The next episode was interesting, then the last 3 were
passable
dog shit.
show that you could understand.
No,
why
I
a
thought
lot
it
of
got
people would
interesting, and then they
enjoy it.
just ripped the interesting away. Like when he started going crazy and like doing drugs. He was a bad boy.
I think it's a show that's only interesting
no,
in a
that's what I mean,
synopsis.
No, but like
literally
that
the
was
last-
cool. I thought he was
Oh,
going to
wait, no,
become
that
the
was,
villain,
like,
and then they were like, "No, he's going to redeem himself." Like that was fucking boring.
You know, they actually
He's gonna
they did a
redeem
similar thing in
himself?
Angel
Fuck
Beats.
you.
They had they had an episode. I can't remember for life of me now. I remember thinking at the time. I can't remember for life of me now what it actually was in the episode, but I do remember there being an episode where like it kind of seemed like the whole tone was gonna. Oh, I do remember what it is. They introduced this character pretty far into the show, definitely like in like the last third of the show. It's only 13 episodes, that's not much, but the last like third of the show, they introduced this character who they're like, I was finally thinking while I was watching, okay, I'm like, okay, here's here's the actual plot. Here's why the reason the show exists, because it really did just feel like I was watching filler episodes up until then with just all plots taking place in the same world, but no actual coherent story going on. I was like, oh, here's the story. There's a bad guy. He's definitely bad. He's doing bad things, and they're gonna
He's
fight him. And
nefarious.
there's
He
gonna be an
commits nefarious
and now
acts.
he's on the good guy's side, and they convinced him, and now he's just being the incredibly evil thing that he was just doing. They're now playing off for comedic effect every time. The show couldn't decide if it wanted to be funny or if it wanted to be sad, and because of that, it wasn't
Yeah, that's
really
what
good
Demon
at
Slayer's
either
doing
one
a
of
lot,
them.
and I'm getting sick of that.
I think Jujutsu Kaisen is the only time I've seen it done well, and maybe that's just because the sad, the serious, and the funny were all emotionally, like good emotion sad, actually funny, and like cool serious. When it comes to Angel Beats, the sad is just, let me tell you a really, really sad story about a character that has nothing going for them. And then since you can say, hey, look at that character, they had a sad life, maybe you'll wind up liking that character. Spoiler alert, that's not how liking characters works.
Spoiler alert.
Okabe is one of my favorite characters in anime. He's
Okabe
awesome.
who?
Okabe Rintaro from. Oh, is that even his name?
They said
Yeah.
Rintaro.
Okay, baby.
Yeah. Okabe.
If you want to be
Rintaro from
serious, it's
Steins Gate.
Rintaro Okabe, but whatever.
whatever. He's one of my favorite characters, and he's not one of my favorite characters just because he was depressed in Steins Gate Zero, and by the end of the show he was really sad. That's not why I liked Okabe. I liked Okabe because he was actually interesting, and they used the stuff making him sad, and it was his reaction to the sad stuff, not just the fact that he was sad. That isn't character.
Damn, you gotta use this
Yeah.
shit when you're writing your anime.
My favorite, the most interesting character in that show for me was a character called TK. The only time
Who?
he ever almost all of the in Angel Beats.
Oh, okay.
The almost all of the time he talked, like 99% of the time, it was in English. I watched the show subbed, by the way. 99% of the time he talked, it was in English, and he was just saying random song lyrics and breakdancing.
That's awesome.
And he
What?
had no character at all. He didn't do anything. Up until the very end of the show, he didn't even he responded to people, but not with anything coherent. And that was the only thing I found funny about the show. That and the opening was pretty good. I do admit, I do think the opening was good. Not as good as everyone says, but I did think the opening was good. And that's enough for my Angel Beats rant. I really want to know why.
You just
people like
mentioned
it.
the most based character I've ever heard of.
He's fucking awesome. He also
Even
just
just more
What's
base
it
cool
beauty
looking.
on?
hair wet. Can only use his power when he's drenched.
He does remind me of that character.
That
He's
dude
basically
might have
The
that
only
character.
the only good part of that show. I added him to my
Before he
favorite
actually-
character list.
He got an actual character and plot by the end of it. TK never did. And that's just a better version of Drippy Guy.
Man, I can't get over Charlotte's just weird as fuck. She's just a weird.
Charlotte is. I said
It
before,
wasn't even
if you-
bad until the last episode.
If you read a
Straight up.
synopsis of the show, then the show sounds good. But synopsis, not just like the synopsis on Mal, the spoiler-free synopsis. If you read like a spoiler, like a Cliff Notes version, it's a story that I think is only interesting through Cliff Notes because of how long they take to tell those things, and then how quickly they tell things. They in other shows, like when you have interesting stuff and boring stuff, you're saying like, oh, I wish they would go like, oh, they have the boring stuff, but it only happens for a bit, and then they do the interesting stuff and the interesting stuff for a while. It's almost like they had interesting stuff. And I'm talking about Angel Beats and Charlotte here, but a bit more so for Charlotte. They took that interesting stuff and said, no one wants to see that. Let's just get that over. Because they also put at the very end of the show. So like, oh, well, we forgot to actually make this, have a plot. Let's just throw in some random shit that no one cares about. Get it over in 2 episodes, and now the show's done. Oh, but no, this random bullshit of him trying to get lunch and him meeting an idol and him getting addicted to drugs, and almost murdering some people. We
Not
can take our time
interesting
with
enough.
those. We can take our time with that stuff. We'll let it, do whatever. We'll go on for 8 or 9 fucking episodes. But no. Now that we have a plot, no one wants to see that shit. That's old news. Plots are for posers. And I think I want to watch Clanad now, just so I can complete the trifecta of shows by those people that people say are really, really good. Just so I can.
Do people really say Charlotte's really, really good?
Do they? I don't know. I know they say that for
people
Angel
love
Beats.
Angel Beats, and then Charlotte, they just say, "Oh, it's a worse Angel Beats." But
Yeah,
they still
Charlotte's a
like it.
7.75, so it's definitely
That's
popular
crazy.
61.
That's
People that
insane.
really like
Clannad-
Charlotte.
The thing with Clannad is if you want to get the best out of Clannad, I don't know if you want to. I think you just want to just get through it just to see what it's like. But
I don't.
because Clannad's a visual novel, if you were to just watch it, well, that's why it doesn't have that good a score. Because the visual novel, there's so much more time. There's multiple endings, sort of thing. But that's also why the fucking the sequel to Clannad is the 15th
Sure.
highest rated thing of all time because that's
Yeah.
anime original or something like that,
I-
where they had
from
free
what
creative
I've-
process.
From what I've heard, and I don't know if this is correct, when you watch Clanad, I know you're saying Clannad. I'm not gonna say that.
Clannad.
Shut up. Clanad, the original Clanad, the one from fall 2007.
No, to be
From
honest,
what
I
I've
don't even know if
heard-
it's Clannad or Clannad. I've just heard both.
I've only heard Clanad. You're the first person I say here Clannad.
I
but-
don't know why I heard where I
And
heard
honestly,
Clannad from.
You would say Clannad.
You definitely would.
I
Um,
would. You're right, but I feel like Clannad sound. I digress. Sorry, go on.
Okay. So I've heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong if you do know if it's different. I've heard that the 2007 version of Clanad the anime, you only watch that so that you can watch Clannad After Story and have the knowledge you need going into it. Because Clannad After Story, from what I've heard, is actually the good one. Clannad, even the people that like it, I've heard, say it's boring as shit and not very interesting.
That
And it's
I
pretty much just set up for After Story.
I know nothing really about the development of I'll say Clannad from now on if I can control
Thank
it.
you.
Of Clannad, but
Mhm.
I don't think that's completely right. They probably just they probably wouldn't want to. They probably wouldn't make they probably couldn't make a second Clannad After Story before making just regular Clannad because nobody would make it
Yeah.
because they don't know how well Clannad the anime would do.
Mhm.
And it was probably worse. And then I guess to go into After Story and not wanting to play the visual novel, you could just watch the anime.
Well, I think After Story is higher rated than
Oh
the
no, it
original.
is. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you in that
Okay.
yeah, you I don't think it's not like Clannad the first one was created just for After Story, but
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it was created just for After Story. It's just now that they both exist, no one says Clannad looks cool. I want to watch that. They watch Clannad and stop there and feel satisfied.
I think Clannad the game looks good. That's why I bought it.
I want to try more visual novels. I think I only have Danganronpa. Do I have any other ones? I don't know if I have any
Do
other
you not
ones.
have Steins Gate?
I have Steins Gate.
Yeah, okay.
I
do
mentioned I have
Steins
Steins
Gate.
Gate 0 on my and I've never played in over a year. I have
the
Steins
fuck?
Gate the original on my fucking phone.
Well,
I
wait,
bought
that's
for,
crazy.
$8.
Wait, I've got a lot of visual novels on Steam. Persona 4 Golden. That's not a visual novel, is it?
I thought that was just a video game.
It's a
Yeah, I've played it.
JRPG.
It's definitely not a. Yeah, okay. I think on Steam they kind of stretch the definition of visual novel.
Oh, it's Japanese? Close enough.
Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. That's a
Based
RPG.
Val.
There's nothing visual novel about this game. Okay. Okay, yeah.
All right, your rant
Is
over.
Jump Force a visual novel?
Of course, it's not a visual novel.
Yeah.
Are you sure? There's characters. They're visual.
It
They
is
have
Yeah,
anime.
for sure.
There's
It's
a
not the
game
visual, just not the
original
no- well, there's
character,
text.
too,
There's text, so it's a novel.
Grover or whatever his
Oh,
name
yeah.
is.
Yeah, you read something at some point, right?
And Light's in there. Light has books.
Oh, shit, dude. Totally.
It was the death.
No, when you're right, you're right,
A
man.
visual novel?
I cannot argue.
Is Super Mario Bros. A visual novel?
I believe so.
Duh. Did you
Okay,
consider that it's not? Like, damn. Dumbass.
Angie, you may.
Chris
You
can
Pratt
rant
is
your
in a
show
visual
now.
Alright,
novel.
Next
So-
rant, and then we'll get into our topic.
Amazing transition here, Ready? It really sucks that you didn't enjoy everything you've been watching, Drew. But holy shit, have I been watching good shows recently.
Okay.
So, I finished Code Geass. Last episode, I said I gave season 1 a 10, and season 2 I was really enjoying. Originally, I gave it a 10, season 2, when I finished it. Today, I actually knocked them both down to a 9. I'll get into
No.
why in a bit. But the ending
Too
was
gay.
probably
Too
the
gay,
best part
too
about
little
Code
ass.
Geass. Which is weird because that was the part I hadn't seen yet, and somehow it dropped the show for me. But that's not actually the reason why. So I gave some more reflection on it, and there were a few episodes here or there that just were wasting time pretty much and didn't make sense. So I dropped it from a 10 to a 9. But the other reason is because I watched Terror in Resonance. Started it 2 days ago, finished it today. That show might be the best piece of media I've ever seen. It's only 11 episodes, and I had more attachment to the characters than in any other show I've seen. It was ridiculously well written, I guess. It's an anime original, animated by Mappa. Really beautiful, pretty good soundtrack and stuff, and it's about it's some milds. I don't really want to spoil it because I know Drew, you're planning on watching it, and I want everyone else here
Yeah,
to
I'm
watch
watching
it.
it next.
But basically, these two 17-year-old boys are committing terrorist acts,
Nefarious
or
acts.
if you will,
Deviously.
yeah. They are hitting some devious licks on the police. But basically, if you like psychological thrillers or cop programs at all, you would love this show. It's really good. The ending was really, really good. Also, really, really sad. Teared up a bit, but that's all
Oh,
right.
Impossible.
I wonder if
Oh,
it can make
speaking
me
of,
cry.
I like
To
for
be
real
fair,
cried
hardest
this time when I
one.
saw. Oh, I can't even think
Wait,
about it.
you actually did?
Part
Yeah,
4
I had that
Really?
I had that Denzel tear.
God.
Okay. I
To be fair, oh, sorry, just real quick. I also
Yeah.
did tear up at the end of Code Chaos. That really sad ending too.
Hmm.
But beside the point, go on,
So
Drew.
I am of the belief that when it comes to all of us, just from pure toughness and how easy it is to get sad, I am definitely the weakest in that respect.
You or me,
Yeah, I was
definitely.
gonna say maybe Dylan. I don't actually know much about how much for Dylan, but
Oh, I'm
I know.
very sensitive.
Okay, at least for Andrew and Nick,
Cool to own
definitely
it though.
I am the weakest of us of the three of us.
Hmm.
Crying. I can be made. I will be crushed by sad things happening in anime, but I guess just I can't. It's so hard to make me cry. It's just on Ohana, and that was just like tearing up. Not even enough tears to like come out of my eyes and like go down my cheeks or anything. Just actual tears
Yeah,
forming.
no. I
Yeah, no, Drew,
almost
I am.
went like full bawling while
Oh
watching
my
Terror and
god!
Resonance. It was no, it was close. Like
I think I'm gonna have to
it's
watch that
like
show to get me to cry.
Yeah,
it would have
Drew,
been
I
one
am
step
weaker
closer,
than
if you will.
you. I am a full
Thank you.
crier, except I'm an ugly crier.
I'm saying because I know because Andrew and Nick are definitely
Well, no,
like
to be fair,
tougher than
Drew,
me, but
I
they've
think
cried
one
at
of the
shows.
reasons I've never like fully cried. It's always been like tearing up, and then maybe if it was shot right to make you cry, I would have cried after that. Like the scene in Naruto that I'm thinking of. We all know the
Mhm.
spoiler, but I
It's
won't
fine to
spoil it
spoil. It's
just
a
because
pretty old show.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
we all know what we're talking about. A really sad moment in Naruto. I wouldn't have found sad, but because of what happened, it made me attached to the characters. Because I feel like in a lot of animes that I watch, I'm just not that attached to the characters. But for Terror and Resonance, I was attached to the characters by episode 2. They
Mm,
showed so much depth. I was so invested in their backgrounds or stories. It, I
yeah.
really cannot recommend this show enough. I think it's so good.
As soon as I finish, as soon the instant I finish Moriarty, that's definitely what I'm gonna watch.
Yeah. But all right, that's all I've. Well, actually, also watched Star Wars Visions. The
Oh, I
other
forgot about that. Yeah,
this
I
past week
really
came
really
out
like
this
that.
past
Almost
week.
forgot that. Is that even on Mal?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
is
it is.
actually.
Hmm.
You
Its
know what?
page is a
I
little
think
bare, but it is
that's
there.
you know what. Star Wars Vision's the next show I'm gonna watch. I think definitely.
I know a lot.
The
It's
I
getting
really enjoyed
quite
it.
a bit of hate
reason
online,
for that,
and honestly,
It
I
would.
do. I think so. Well, by like
People love to
annoying
hate
people.
anime.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I have 2 complaints about it, and these complaints aren't like super serious. It's just the first one. Each one is like its own standalone thing, and they are almost always just really good hooks into full, like what could be full
Yes.
series, and they're not
Yeah.
full series, and that sucks because it's really interesting. The second is since none of them are canon, I prefer stuff that is canon because I think it's really cool if it like connects to previously established things, but that's just a problem for
Do you
me.
think that is something more? You're the only person I think I know of at least that I met that holds that in any real importance. I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly how
Well,
common
I
that
said
is.
my complaints,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Um.
No, nobody
I
said
never
they are
disagreed
not.
with you. Yeah.
All right, but yeah, it's really good. The studios did amazing jobs all around. There was only maybe 1 or 2 episodes I wasn't thrilled with. Um, the band one, I regret watching it dubbed. It was a little bit weird
Yeah,
because of
I
that.
switched a sub for
And
that just
then
that episode.
the Robot Boy one, I wasn't a fan of.
The
But
Didn't like that
robot
either.
boy gas.
That was
no,
that
it's not,
was
bro. Stop lying. That song's ass.
That song
Anyways,
is ass.
the other 7 episodes, so were all really good.
hmm Did you have a what was your favorite?
Um, I can't decide between the village priestess and or that's not the name of it. That one.
The Village Bride.
Yeah, the village bride or the Ninth Jedi. They were both really good.
It was either between that or Village Bride or the rabbit one that I'm forgetting the name of. Oh, Hop and Ocho, I think, or Ocho and Hop.
Yeah, I didn't care for that one that much. I feel like
I
Ocho
love
was
that one.
a very weird character.
Ocho was weak, but the fight was awesome.
Oh yeah, the fight scene was
And I just
incredible.
really like the
A lot of the fight scenes
animation
were really
style
good.
of that one. It was really good.
Yeah.
Twins
But-
is a close
oh.
third for me.
I also watched Loki recently, and that show was really really good too.
I have not started that yet, believe it or not.
Really?
I really should.
And I
I
watched What If.
love
I
when
think
You
I
Loki
watched
oughta.
a
was
lot
That
of
show was
stuff.
really good.
Yeah,
Loki's-
Loki was really
I
interesting. And
I
you don't
imagine
even
all these shows are really good. I'm just done with Marvel. I'm not watching any Marvel anymore.
I don't even like Marvel all that much. I'm just watching them because
you watched Endgame
Sure.
and decided that was it.
Yeah, that was the whole like
Okay.
the 10
That was the end of the
cinematic
story.
universe.
That's pretty much it
Yeah,
after that.
everything else is
It's
like
the
I'm
epilogue now.
sure it's good. I'm just not gonna get reinvested.
Yeah.
Especially since I don't have like
But-
Disney Plus or HBO Max, whatever the hell you need to watch all
Yeah,
that
Disney
stuff.
Plus.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't
tell you
need
something
You
you
could just
shouldn't
pirate
watch
them.
even if you had Disney Plus. Is Black Widow. That movie was not it.
is that on Disney Plus?
I think so.
it-
It might be now.
It's probably not anymore.
I don't
It'll
even
probably
care,
be
bro.
back
That
in
movie
a
was
bit.
trash.
Yeah. Like, I watched it with my grandma, and even she said they didn't need to make this movie. It was crazy. It seemed like, let's make a Black Widow movie. Let's not make it good. Let's just make one. But
Couldn't
I
anyways-
agree
mean,
more.
it did what it needed to do.
No, it didn't.
People watched it.
Oh wait, while we're talking about Star Wars, we want to do that too.
You know, good a time as any.
It's a tier list. You guys don't
We're,
tell me anything.
Yeah,
well,
that's because
maybe
you
if
left.
you didn't fall asleep last night.
Oh,
God.
God
Yeah,
forbid!
damn.
God forbid I work that day. Then I work the next day.
Yeah, you're not allowed to
Did
do
you say
that.
you didn't fall asleep, but you just ignored them?
Yeah, whoa, what are you lying to us now? Damn,
Damn.
shit.
Yeah, bro, it's
Kinda
time.
mean,
Fuck, I lost.
Oh, I thought when you said Star Wars, you were just gonna take the star and go to the
No.
cooler.
Bro, don't fret.
No,
We're gonna
we're
get to
doing-
that in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Once we
So-
discuss our main topic
Yeah,
briefly.
Saw my hero in life, Moist Critical, post a video about doing this tier list fairly recently.
And I'll tell you what, that was
Wanna
not
do it?
correct.
But let me tell you what is correct. The Phantom Menace, probably D tier. That movie was pretty
I
shit.
think before we start anything, we should establish a starting point.
We should. Alright, here we have it. The tier
should-
list of every Star Wars thing besides Visions, it seems.
If you're a Star Wars fan and you disagree with us, you're not a real Star Wars fan. There it is. I said it. Yeah,
I
give
Take
if
it from
you
me,
want.
a not so Star Wars fan.
I think for each of these things, what we should do is, first of all, this probably sounds obvious. Only take input from people who've watched them. If you haven't watched it, your opinion doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, and
Sorry.
real quick, this is the last
Mhm.
season of Clone Wars, and I'm gonna say we just include it with the rest of the show because it
Fine
is
with me.
after all the same show.
Has anyone here seen Star Wars Resistance, the animated show?
No, but I
I
heard it sucked.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we should just omit that because none of us have seen it.
Yeah.
All right, I think
But
the
it's
second starting thing we should say is, let's say we should just get the average. No one person's opinion should be taken higher or lower. I mean, this sounds pretty obvious, but like just everyone says what they think it should be, and then just average out.
Wait, how many heads do we have?
I mean,
We
yeah, you can.
four
you can
heads
obviously
doing
change
this
your
list,
opinion
right?
Afterwards and move it. 4 or 5 heads. 4 heads.
It depends. Does
I
our
don't remember
special
too much- to be
guest
honest, I don't remember
BaGoongi
too
want
much
to
of
help?
Any of these movies?
Bagoongi,
I just
you
want the
He
movie
doesn't like Star
where
Wars.
In
young
that case, he's
Anakin
not.
No, he doesn't like Star
Okay.
Wars.
says,
Here's
I
what I
just
think.
want-
Oh, you know what? No,
this
you
is
go
pod
first.
Racing.
No, where he says, "I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and
Oh,
irritating."
that's episode 2, I believe.
Yeah, that's
All right,
episode
that-
2.
All right, that gets a triple S tier. Everything else.
Honestly, episode 2, aside from like the horrible acting from Christian Haydenson, whatever his name
Hayden
is, and
Christensen.
Hayden Christensen.
Oh, also,
Yeah.
also,
Um,
you think I've seen episode 2? I haven't. I've just seen the clip.
that's all you need to see. No,
I
but
know. Yeah,
the
triple
the
S.
dynamic between him and Natalie Portman is so unbearable.
It's
awkward,
horrible.
It's ridiculous.
And that's like an hour of
Um,
screen time. That's the worst part.
Yeah, that's the thing that really dragged episode 2 down because I had a lot of good lightsaber fights and a pretty interesting
Honestly, the plot
that
was
led
pretty
into
good.
one of my favorite animated series from my childhood. But anyways, we should go in order because this is
Yeah.
canonical
And this is
order
this
of
is
what happens in Star Wars.
And these two are omitted.
Although to be fair, I'm not entirely sure which happens for Solo or Rebels. It doesn't
Not
matter.
important.
They're separate. Anyways,
They're completely different. Anyway, Drew, as for what you were saying, I think if 3 people agree on the same letter, then the last person can just be an outlier and ignored.
Well, yeah, no, obviously. But I'm saying like if we have,
But if it's 2
for
versus 2,
instance-
then we should probably
oh,
Ooh,
average
two
it.
makes well, no, because wait, Dylan, how many of these have you watched?
I'm not looking at the thing right now. I've seen I've seen the last 3, like the new 3 that came out.
Oh, perfect. That's what we really need opinions on.
I
That's
mean,
definitely the
I'm
only ones
sure
we're
I've
gonna
seen
have
like
major disagreements on.
episodes 4, 5, and 6. I just don't remember them at all.
you don't need to
understandable.
remember them. They
I know,
weren't. Well, we'll save that for a sec.
I know they're all like meant to be amazing, so I'll just like.
Well,
whatever
at the
Well-
time, I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
You don't like them?
Anyways,
I don't
I'm
think
a
that's
Passive
a
aggressive.
Solo
Okay,
fan.
here we have it.
Me too.
Episode 1. Ignore that I put it there. I'm just highlighting it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Episode 1.
So I originally said D tier, but then I just remembered the fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul and the soundtrack that went with it. That probably pushes it up to C. for
Qui-Gon
me.
Jinn.
I am
mean,
not gonna
Qui-Gon
lie.
was
I
also
totally
awesome.
agree.
No, wasn't it between Qui-Gon and Maul, not Obi-Wan
Well,
and
it
Maul?
started.
It
but
started
then
there.
when it really got interesting was when
Yeah.
Qui-Gon died. Sorry if I'm
Actually,
spoiling
there was
it for you,
uh,
but
There were some
Oh,
pretty
not
cool
Qui-Gon.
parts.
Damn, you're not gonna
during,
spoil a
that fight
fucking
before
20-year-old
Qui-Gon died
movie, you
that were
asshole.
Really cool.
also
Like-
where you can use context clues to figure out Qui-Gon fucking died. Wait, he was a main character in episode 1, but he wasn't in episode 2.
No.
Whatever could happen to him?
He went
I
on
don't know, bro.
vacation. He went to
that
go-
shit
I
happened
think
to Jar
that's
Jar.
low C.
Jar Jar was
Oh,
in so
God.
much of episode 1, and they realized
He
what a
should have
mistake
been-
that was. He was in
he
like
should have
5
been the
minutes of
fucking
episode
Sith
2
Lord.
and 1 of episode 3.
I'm not even shitting you. He should have been the Sith Lord.
I'm not even shitting you. He should not have existed. George Lucas was
No,
a fool
but-
for writing him.
I've read theories or watched videos on it or whatever that he was originally the Sith Lord in Lucas's mind, but then people hated him so much that he kind of wrote him out of the story.
Wow.
And I would not be surprised
And
by
wrote
that.
him into like all of Clone Wars.
He's not in that much of Clone Wars, Drew.
He's in a lot of the Clone Wars that I've seen. I've only seen the
Yeah.
early episodes when he
Me
was.
too. I saw
in,
the
like,
first
half
like
of
2
them.
seasons.
Regardless, he's not a very major character in that. He's like, oh, Senator Banks, you
I
exist.
forgot.
Yes.
He's a fucking
Yeah.
senator. Oh my god.
All right, episode
All
2.
right, Episode
as good
2.
as the memes are, I think at most A, maybe B.
I'd say
Most
B.
A.
Because
Okay.
there was so much screen time of the very awkward relationship of those
Yeah.
two.
But the fights in it, that's why
I
like
thought the
prequels
movie
more
was
than the
really
original
good, but
trilogy.
literally half of it was terrible, and the other half was like really fucking good.
Yeah,
I can go with like low B here.
Yeah.
I think this averages out to a B.
yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Episode
the
3.
Clone
Wars.
The
Oh,
Clone Wars
I forgot Clone
is
Wars is in
a TV
between.
show.
Yeah.
Here we have it.
To be fair, I have not seen the first 6 seasons in over like 2 or 3 years, but I remember like I rewatched them fairly recently. I remember thinking they still held up pretty well at that point. And honestly, I think the show's solid. Like
I do
B,
too.
maybe A.
I would give
And
it probably.
and
What I
let
saw
me
was,
also
like,
say the
hella
final
good,
season was
honestly.
really good. The final season was really good, so I'd say probably A even on that.
Yeah.
I'd agree. Yeah.
I'll give the show this. I saw like most of the episodes about like the those loser clones, and they're all like just so good.
Are you
Yeah.
talking about the Bad Batch?
No, the one.
No,
with
the like the unofficial Bad Batch. Like
The
those
ones,
those
with, like,
dorks
that
that
old
got
Bad
bullied by
Batch-
everybody.
The Bad Batch premiered in the Clone Wars, and then they got their own show,
Well, no,
which
this-
isn't
I-
on this.
Yeah, they're
list.
not
Are you talking
them.
about Nick? That one like.
It's the
where
guys
the
people
first
thought
episode
would
they
be
show
the
up is
Bad Batch, and then it was like it wasn't them.
Are
I
those
think
the guys
half of
that,
them
like, show
died
up
by the end
originally
of the
in
show.
training arc with like the not training arc, the training facility of that old guy.
Yeah,
That
those
was
guys.
so sad. Holy
that,
shit.
That
dude.
was-
I was a
I
little
was
kid
not
when I saw
prepared
that.
for
I
as a
literally
child.
cried. I was like
That was
9
so
years old.
Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, here we
Or-
have it.
yeah.
This one. I'm seeing it right now. This should be S.
I agree.
don't disagree. I do not disagree in the
Awesome.
slightest.
See, the only reason to disagree is the acting is still shit from Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, but he
But
you could give him
that's not
this.
gonna
He's at
change
least
that.
trying harder, which I can
That's true.
appreciate.
Yeah.
And like honestly, I don't since like I grew up in a time where this story was already fully told. I don't remember what I thought of before I saw the prequels. It's just like I think the way they show the story is really good. And
Yeah.
obviously it's predictable that he becomes Vader because he fucking becomes Vader. But like like Sam Jackson as Mace Windu might have been the best casting choice they've ever made. Although Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan is a close second.
Oh my, yeah, he is so
He
funny.
was just incredible. Honestly, it's a shame that he and Hayden Christensen acted together because Ewan McGregor was just so fucking good.
Have you ever
Honestly,
seen that
maybe he
movie with
was a
Hayden
bad
Christensen, Little Italy or whatever?
Nah.
I have not.
He
Ever
runs
seen
this
the Hayden
pizza joint
Christensen
in
movie with
New
Nick
York,
Cage?
and it's just more shit acting. No, but I remember hearing about it, and I want to watch it because Nicolas Cage and Hayden Christensen, what could go wrong?
Okay. You know what? Honestly, maybe Ewan McGregor was a bad choice because
Because he
It's
did
almost
too
like-
good.
yeah. If you have
He's
like
actually talented.
if you have a plate of food in front of you and you've got like a fucking like $200 steak and a shitty McDonald's hamburger, that shitty McDonald's hamburger is gonna be even more shitty compared to that $200 steak. You are gonna gag at the taste of the hamburger. When if you just eat the hamburger on its own, you can be like, it's not like amazing, but it's whatever. It's in comparison. That's definitely what made it worse. How there was so much good stuff in the movie, bring him down,
Yeah,
or him bringing the rest down. Really.
yeah. But
It's
the
just
movie overall
unfortunate.
was really good.
Yeah.
Yes. Here we have it.
Another all
Good
right.
enough to look
Solo.
past.
Here's the point of
I-
contention in the fan
people-
base.
I'm gonna go
Shit.
C.
No.
Oh my
Wait.
god.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
my
okay. We're professional, don't
I'm
worry.
so good at this.
People hate on Solo, but I gotta tell
Mm-hmm.
you, another great casting choice with Childish
Oh
Gambino.
my god.
And,
So fucking perfect.
that,
I hear
like,
people's complaints about this movie, and I gotta say, maybe they're right, but I like the movie.
I enjoyed myself, but the plot was so
His fucking
obvious and
girlfriend.
shit.
His fucking girlfriend was a horrible
God.
character.
No, it
She
unordered
was
all
so
the shows.
unnecessarily.
She's so
my God.
stupid. Anyway,
Did
as for the
unorder all the shows,
performances,
by the way.
I'd put this in like low B or high C.
I would say low
I'd
C.
say-
Like,
Yeah,
because
I'd
I thought
say
the
C.
I
I'd
thought the
say C.
performances were good, but like the movie itself
The
wasn't
script
really.
was so
Lando was really the only thing about the movie I enjoyed.
Mhm.
Oh, Lando and what the fuck was that guy's name?
All right, we putting it above or
it was
below
in
episode
Now
1?
You See Me. Above episode 1. Lando was that good.
Yeah.
That guy that was in
Alright,
Now You
so
See Me. What the fuck
it
is his name?
unordered, but
He was
Rebels
in Solo.
was
He was
next.
cool. Rebels was? Oh yeah, Rebels.
Yeah, Rebels. Oh wait, you're
No,
talking
we
about
got-
the guy, the
What is
antagonist,
this?
but not really, but actually.
Yeah.
But not
Oh no,
really
it
from
went back
Solo?
out of order
Yeah,
because
that
I
guy.
exited the
Yeah.
page.
Yeah,
Sort of,
whatever
kind
the
of, but
order,
maybe-
Rebels is
Okay.
next.
Whoever he was cool too.
So I've watched
Mm-hmm.
about half of season 1.
I've watched a little bit of season 1 as well,
I've watched none of
Probably
it.
and a little bit
probably
of the
D
later
tier.
seasons.
No.
It looked terrible. The main
season
character
1
looked
was
terrible,
about D tier.
and
The
it
ones-
it
the
got a little
first season
interesting.
was really bad, but then I've seen clips of like the Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul rematch, which is really sick, and Ahsoka
That was in
honestly in
Rebels?
Rebels is really cool.
I
Yeah.
loved Ahsoka. Ahsoka was I don't know if
I
this is
didn't
like a
like
unpopular
Ahsoka in
opinion,
the
but I thought
first
she was cool
4
in Clone
seasons of the
Wars.
Clone Wars, but especially after she left the Order. But even
That
a
was
little
when
bit
she
before
really
that,
became
there was
cool,
like this
definitely.
arc where she was mind controlled into becoming like joining the dark side, and then Anakin saved her. I thought from that point on, she was really interesting.
Yeah,
But yeah, Rebels.
I just find it
not a fan.
unforgivable that the main character was so lame.
I also don't
So I'd
like
give it a
when
whole
they,
D
they
tier.
just like put weird lightsaber modifications like,
I
oh,
love
his
that.
is also a gun.
Wait, okay, maybe not.
Wait,
maybe not.
wait,
I
also-
did not
hold
think
on.
That's where this was
That's like-
going.
Dude, that's like against the Jedi code. Like
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Well, I mean, the
Obi-Wan was
Jedi
like
were kind of
Obi-Wan killed what was his name? Episode 3. General Grievous. He killed him with a gun, and he was like, ugh,
Yeah.
so uncivilized. Yeah, it's like not
Yeah.
a thing that it... And you're telling me that there was a lightsaber that doubled as a gun in Rebels?
Well, he edited. Like he had a not so working lightsaber, then he changed it so it was also a gun.
Oh, Jesus.
Was it a Jedi
Also,
using it?
most of the cast. What? Well,
Was it a
it's the
Jedi used
Padawan,
it?
the main character. He's
Oh,
not
he
actually a
used it?
Jedi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was like a villain or something using it. What the
No,
fuck?
it's the main character.
Oh my
That's
god.
But
weird.
the other thing about Rebels, I wasn't crazy for most of the cast. The Mandalorian was in the show is pretty good, and then the like gorilla dude is pretty sick. But the rest are meh.
That could be because he's a gorilla.
Yeah, definitely is. But anyways, next is Rogue One. Show.
We're gonna have-
I enjoyed
One of
thoroughly.
This is the point of
I can
contention.
actually
I
comment
would
on.
put Rogue One on S tier.
I
Rogue One is
hated
my
this
favorite
movie.
by so much.
Rogue
I'd
One
put
is
it A.
good. I liked it.
I'd
I
say
don't know,
A.
I-
Literally the
that's like-
highest I'd be willing to put it is B.
Well, we do have to
I think B
again
tier is there.
take
Probably
the
where I'd put it.
average of what we're saying.
I'd say
Dylan, what?
either high B or low A is fine with me.
Yeah, I think B tier is about right. It's
There we
just
have
a
it.
movie.
Okay. It's obviously better than episode 2.
Can we hear your reasoning, Nick, for why you hated it?
Okay, first of all, the main character, unbearable. Not only is she not interesting, she's so annoying.
Isn't she
At every
Okay,
turn,
cool.
she's being as difficult as possible, and there's no reason for it.
Oh, Dylan saw a parallel. She's British.
Okay, Ben Mendelsohn, of course, is a fantastic actor, and he
Ben
was
Mendelsohn?
great
He's
in
the
that
guy who
movie.
played the
He was the villain.
yeah.
Oh, that guy's awesome.
Every
I
time
love
he's
that
in a
guy.
movie, he's fantastic. But like,
I
then
really
that was
like
it.
the-
He was
the
the only
monk
cool
and his
character in the
boy.
whole movie.
The monk
I know
was
the monk was cool.
amazing.
Yeah, his boy
The
was
monk
cool.
was my favorite character.
Sol Guerrero was pretty cool in that movie too. That was a
what the
good
f-
throwback.
what was his
Here's the
actor's
problem.
name?
Wasn't he in that movie for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, he died in that movie.
He
Yeah, like
just-
really quickly.
the scene he was introduced
Anyways.
pretty much.
That's
Oh,
my
no, he was in,
problem. It
like,
was-
the background
I
of
thought
the
the
scene earlier.
pacing was weird, and the characters just... It was like cool ones were few and far between.
I've said this before. I love it when any sort of thing has the balls to like kill off a character that's important. And this movie killed off all of the characters.
Yeah,
It did
I
do at the
have-
very end of it, which made it a little bit less cool. I wish they kind of killed them off a little
I
bit sooner.
do like that too, Drew. But to be fair, the reason I like it when there's
Reason
good
was a
reason
little
for
bit
it. The reason
off.
for it is because this led directly into episode 4, and guess what? These characters weren't in episode 4 because episode
Yeah.
4 was written in the fucking 70s. So,
Yeah.
like, that's a bit disappointing that they wrote these characters just to kill them off, not for character development of other people and stuff. Like, that's why like in Naruto, some of the
I
deaths
assume they
think are
weren't
really,
written.
really
they
good.
weren't written just to be killed off, and I think it would
Well,
like
they-
take a lot
they were
away from their
written-
characters if they were written.
Written
like, for the
knowing that they
sole
had to
purpose.
die.
Yeah,
by
they
the
were
Yeah.
end.
written. That's
Yeah,
what
but
I
that's
mean
probably
by that.
better than them being written for the sole purpose of like supporting like the main characters who we already know. You know, it's meant to be its own contained story. so
yeah,
it's better
but-
they get
Well, Dylan,
development.
what if there was a character who, like, what if the main character in Rogue One lived and all those character deaths developed her character, and she was in episode 4 because episode 4 came out, you know, around this time and not way back then, and all those character deaths corrupted her or whatever, and she joined the Empire as a result, or some bullshit, you know, like, then it starts to make sense why all these characters had to die. At this point, you're just like, oh, they had to die because
They can't be alive.
because they weren't alive in the next movie. Okay.
It's unfortunate that
Alright.
like it just had to be that way, but I don't think
Yeah.
it really takes away from the movie. It's just something that
Yeah.
just
No,
had to be
definitely
a
not.
thing.
Well, I mean, just because it's a complaint of mine doesn't mean I think it fully takes away from the movie. I just think it's unfortunate, I think is a good word for it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Here we
Episode
have
4.
it. Episode 4,
It was mid
which
as
I
fuck.
thought was very solid.
I think it's like a C. It was
Are
so
we
bland.
taking into account the fact that it is painful
No.
to watch?
Oh, I thought you were saying that it's
Is
awful.
this a New Hope?
Yes.
Yeah, New Hope.
Okay.
So are we taking into account the fact that it was made way back then and it is hard to watch with all the effects?
I think.
Well,
we
what
should
year do we
is
live in
should
now?
Take into. It
2021.
doesn't matter when it was written. It doesn't
Are the
matter
effects-
if when it came out it was
Are the
awesome.
effects
It's not
that
awesome now.
bad? I know they're all done.
No, the effects are pretty
practically
bad.
because of the time.
Yeah.
Is it that bad?
They're not
The
good.
effects were fine for the time, but they suck now.
Like you see
they're
the Force
embarrassing.
Awakens and like
Well, in
the
which
laser
case, I think
effects
you
look
can
good, but
judge, like, I
then
think
you
you
watch
can judge
this.
like the sound. Not maybe the sound, but like the effects and the
I
camera.
think we
I'm not-
should
and all
judge
that.
the choices rather than the actual outcome.
Well,
And the
because
choices
my
was how it was
issue
written,
with
and that
this
was
movie
bland.
is like, lightsabers.
Yeah, like that. You know,
are
that's fair to
flashlights
judge at
because
any
they
time
didn't have
period.
the
but, like,
technology to
because
do
it's
it
the
other than
70s,
that.
you have to be more.
Also, the
lenient.
fights themselves were
Yeah, the fights were
not
lame.
good.
I saw a fan made reimagined fight between Vader and old Obi-Wan, and honestly, it was really good. And if that's what it looked like in the movie, it would have been so nice. Like they had like a prequel style lightsaber fight with a lot of parrying. The lightsabers looked good, and it wasn't just one strike, then Vader slashed Obi-Wan through the chest. Like it was good, and I wish it was that way.
Well, there
but it
was also
isn't.
the thing of it. I've heard. I don't know if this is completely true, but I've heard that like they said something along the lines of Obi-Wan didn't. I mean, this might also be pointing out the extremely blatantly obvious, and I might be stupid for even thinking this isn't obvious. He went into the fight intentionally, meaning to not survive it, not even hold him back, not do any fighting, just basically suicide, just to give, Luke
Yeah, that was that.
motivation. Like, I think
Yeah.
having it be an actual drawn out fight would have kind of made that a little bit weirder. Like,
you haven't seen the clip. It didn't feel like he was drawing it out, trying to survive. He was actually fighting. He didn't basically walk up to Vader and be like, "Kill me," because that's practically what
Yeah.
happened.
well, I mean,
New Hope.
that's what he was trying to do. So it would be
Yeah,
kind
but
of
he
weird
didn't make it
fighting
look
back
that way.
when he meant to. Well, as I'm saying, it would be weird fighting back.
He didn't go into the fight against Vader saying, "I want you to kill me, and I'm not going to
Well,
resist
yeah,
at all."
obviously
because-
not, because that
Yeah,
wouldn't have
so
worked.
what I'm saying is the version I saw was better because
I'm not
'cause,
saying
like,
it's not
imagine,
better.
Imagine if
It's definitely
because in
better.
reality, if it was that way and Luke just saw Obi-Wan be like, "I'll stop him," and then he dies, that's not inspiring. But if he sees him put up a good fight against Vader, it's like,
That's fair, yeah,
we have a
yeah.
chance. Like that, it's inspiring, you know. So I just think that was. It's unfortunate because at the time I don't think they had the right.
No,
equipment
they
to make
absolutely
lightsaber
didn't.
Fights, look good, but yeah, as far as the plot goes, it was fine. Like
I thought it was good.
it's a classic start to a saga.
Okay.
I really liked the plot. I watched it
I think
not that long
B
ago.
tier's fine.
Didn't.
I would say
I think
it's
where you're hovering's fine.
for
I would
sure better
say,
than
like, low
episode
C
2.
tier, but I don't know if I can win that.
You said you wanted it to be what?
I think it's obviously
see.
better than these two. And I
I
would say it's better than this.
think I don't know. Honestly, if I right now had to choose between watching
Okay.
this movie or any of the ones in C tier, I cannot confidently say I would choose to watch A New Hope.
Okay.
Honestly,
Alright,
if Star
what else we
Wars
got?
was a book series instead of a movie, I'd rather read episode
You
4.
may be right. Alright. So,
I think
Andrew, what do
B's
you
fine
say?
for it. Do think Attack of the Clones is a better movie to watch. Not that it's a better movie
Yeah.
writing wise, but I think it's more enjoyable.
Dylan,
to
you
watch.
remember anything about A New Hope?
I do like Attack of the Clones better.
Not really. No.
Alright. Low B it is.
Okay.
All right, The Empire Strikes
Empire
Back.
Strikes
now,
Back.
This movie
Now
is
this movie.
overrated.
Hell yes.
The Hoth more like sloth because it was slow paced and shitty.
And you know what's
Like-
crazy? Nothing happened in the whole movie.
Yeah, because it's the bridge movie.
It's
Nothing
insane.
can happen.
They literally go to Cloud City, and that's the entire movie, and nothing happens.
Well, no, you forgot about Hoth. Like I said,
No, yeah,
where
there's
nothing
there's
happens.
that where nothing happens, and then they go to Cloud City, where again nothing happens.
And you know
And
what
it-
happened
hours-
in Cloud City?
it's 2
His
hours
hand
long.
Got cut off, and Han got frozen in carbonite to set up for Episode 6.
Yes.
So
C, for sure.
CD's nuts.
What's it? Is it better than these?
No.
No, it's worse than both of them.
Fuck that movie. All right,
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the
Now,
Jedi.
This one I'm a bit biased towards. When I would stay at my grandparents' house and we'd watch a movie together. When I was a kid, it was always this movie because I love the Ewoks. They're
Ewoks are
just
pretty cool.
awesome. And honestly, the opening sequence is really, really good in this movie at Jabba's palace. I always enjoyed that. But
No, yeah, it was.
probably A tier
The
for this
the
movie.
the action was easily better than both of the other two. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah, for sure. Because this is when I think the technology started to get a bit better. Because the lightsaber fights actually lasted time in this movie. It
Mhm.
wasn't two strikes.
And the like war scene was like well done.
hmm
The ATSTs didn't look too stupid.
Yeah, I think A is honestly a pretty fair spot for this.
Yeah.
I still didn't really like it. I didn't like any. It's okay. First, for all of the original three, episodes 4, 5, and 6, for me at least, I don't think it really mattered how well they were done. I thought what it even was working with, like the world it was set in, I didn't care. It
Did
I
you
don't know, Drew.
like?
You sound a little bit like an
The-
outlier
the-
right now.
where, yeah, I very much am.
How recently have you guys seen these movies?
I saw these like a few
With-
months ago.
Yes,
The
these
original
all up in the air.
trilogy probably. I definitely haven't seen them since COVID started, so probably 2 years ago, 2.5.
It was
But
sometime
I've watched
after
them all
COVID started. I got
quite a
Disney Plus and
bit
watched all of them.
as
Alright,
a
that's
kid.
not that long
I think I
ago.
remember them very well.
For me, it was just the prequel world was like so
Bigger
much
such-
cooler, and it would just take the
Yeah,
new
well,
ones. We're just taking not new ones.
Welcome to almost every hardcore Star Wars, current day Star Wars fans' opinions of the. Honestly, it's the Old Republic that people love, but that's basically the prequel without the whole drama of the Sith taking over.
I actually really like this
Yes.
thing. I liked even the end of the world. If it was prequel world was cool. It just
Yeah.
the whole thing of big evil dictator empire of that and all that.
I mean,
just
I'm not
wasn't
crazy for the
cool.
original Star Wars plot, but I do think Episode 6 was very good. Like, I think because like it's the conclusion to the story. It's
Yeah, but it was a
You're
conclusion to a
not-
story I didn't like. Because I didn't like the first
Okay.
episode 4 or episode 5, so
if
episode
you,
6
if
really
you
couldn't
watch
have
a
been
show
better.
that's like 12 episodes long, right?
Mhm.
And you're watching the first 8 episodes or so, and you're like, I'm not a huge fan of this show. And then the last 4 really bring it all together, and you like that. Does it make the whole series better? I think so, and I think Return of the Jedi did
Yeah.
that for the original Star Wars series, and that's why I think it's
I mean,
deserving of
well,
A tier.
again, I do. Well, here's the thing, because I do think episode 6 was definitely the best of the 3 and made it better as a whole. I didn't think episode 1 should be in B tier, and I barely think episode 2 should be in C tier. I didn't.
No, episode 1 is. Wait, are you saying
Yeah.
episode 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3? Because we have 1 in
Oh,
C tier and 2
I
in
meant to
B
say
tier.
4, 5, 6. I meant to say.
Okay, yeah. So 4 is
Either
in
way,
B for
I
us.
didn't. I really didn't like any of them.
Alright.
I thought all of
Man.
them were like kind of
Yeah,
bad.
you definitely are the outlier here.
Yeah, no 100% on the outlier here. It's just, while I do think episode 6 should be placed higher than 4 and 5, I think 4 and 5 are already placed too high for
All right.
placing 6.
Then I could move this to high B if you think that's fair.
I mean, I do think that, but it does sound like also everyone here
I
disagrees
wouldn't
with
throw
me.
a fit over that. I do think it's probably deserving of A.
Because I don't know. I thought it was a bit too long, and a couple of the gags were a bit too goofy. And there was that one thing
Oh,
about
you
like
know,
the
I
that
just
one
remembered
Ewok
the-
that got killed, and it was like the other dude went over, and he was like sobbing over
was
his
fucking
friend dying,
awesome,
and that was just
first off.
weird. There was no reason to
Yeah.
include that.
The thing I just remembered about Return of the Jedi that I didn't care for that much was when C-3PO was like the revered god of
Oh, yeah,
the
that shit
Ewoks.
was
I
dumb
thought
as fuck.
that was
That
really
was so
unnecessary.
weird.
So
They
yeah,
fucking
I'll,
did that
I'll
again
give you
in
5 B.
Pirates of
Alright.
the Caribbean. That was
Episode 7.
Oh no, we got Mandalorian now.
Oh, that's
Oh,
fact.
Mandalorian.
So
I
Here we
only
have
watched
it.
like 2 episodes.
Oh
yeah,
really?
I've seen about 4 episodes.
saw the
and
whole
I'll tell
thing.
you this much. From what I've seen, it's very poorly paced in the classic Star Wars way. Because that's another thing I've never been crazy about. or at least more recently, I've noticed I'm not crazy about is like when they do those long shots of planets and a ship flying by, and it's so dramatic. I'm just like, get on with it. I know
like
that's a
those if
ship.
they actually make it if it's well done.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's why
sure.
Destiny they
Like
should
in the
have done that when they
Mandalorian,
didn't have the
it
technology.
looks great. It looks stunning. Whatever. It took way too long. It made so I watched 4 episodes, 5 episodes, whatever. I watched them with my brother and my mom. It made those 45 minutes feel like 3 hours. It was ridiculous. I did not like the way those were shot. I'm sure the plot really comes together because I'm not very far
Do you
in,
want to
and I've
know
heard
how
very good
much the
things about
plot
this
comes
series.
together?
Not with spoilers because I
It's-
am still gonna watch it. I just haven't.
It's just a little bit too overhyped. Like it's
I
good.
think-
Okay.
Like I saw the whole thing. I would give it like low A. I thought it was really good.
From what
Yeah,
I've seen so
However,
far, I
the
really
fact that
like
people
the
are
way
treating it
was-
like the best thing Star Wars ever put out is just absurd.
it looked
Yeah,
cool, and that's all I can say about
I
it.
don't have enough to put in.
And the
It
character's
looks
really interesting, but
nice.
it's really about the characters. The plot isn't like that special.
Isn't the person who's cast as the Mandalorian is that comedian, isn't it?
Comedian? Nah, I think he's
Comedian.
famous from Game of Thrones.
Bill Burr.
Yeah,
Bill Burr? No, he's just a guy. He's in like 2
Oh,
episodes.
Okay, I thought I saw some like images on Instagram, and I thought Bill Burr was the Mandalorian. That would have been really cool.
That would have been crazy.
All right, the
But no.
sequels.
All right, here we have it. My favorite
7?
movies ever made.
I thought Part 9 was actually pretty good. Part 9.
Wait,
no,
what
no,
did you
not
just
Part
say?
9, Part 7. 7.
7.
is what I
Okay,
meant to
yeah,
say.
7 was
Episode 7.
pretty
I like
good.
Part 7.
Episode 7 was B tier.
Easily B tier.
I would say like high B tier, but anywhere in B tier.
I would
I'm fine with.
not put it above Return of the Jedi.
I agree.
Yeah,
I would put it
that's
right
fine.
below Rogue One. Here.
That's
at least.
fine.
I think Rogue One should be higher, but if with our current ratings,
Okay.
right below Rogue
That's
One seems
chill.
a great place.
Here we have it.
Um,
This is the one.
Remember everything I just said about The
I
Empire
don't
Strikes
understand
Back?
why people hated Last Jedi that much. I get why
too.
they didn't like it, but I don't get why
This
they
is a
hated it.
carbon copy of The
Good.
Empire
I didn't
Strikes Back. The plot
care
is so
for it.
similar, it's ridiculous. Although, to be fair, Episode 7 was
Episode
very
7 is
similar to
also a
Episode
carbon
4.
copy to 4.
Yeah.
I
I
did
mean,
not like
This is just
It was
Empire
such a
Strikes Back, but
letdown.
like better graphics.
I thought this movie was
Yeah.
awesome.
I did not like
No, that
I was
fight at
so
the end, I
hyped
fucking
for this.
loved that final area. Of,
I thought the plot
what's it
was
called?
genius
The
in
Salt
how it
Planet.
made it
Planet was so cool.
in how
I
it made
loved that.
everybody hate it, but I was like, why do you hate this? I thought that was brilliant.
Same. I remember one of our other friends. He like
I was so hyped
as
for
soon
this.
as I
and it was
watched it, he's
such
like,
a
"Oh,
big
do you watch?" I'm
letdown.
like, "Yeah." I thought it was like cool. And then he.
Oh my god, I know
actually
exactly who
yelling.
you're talking
Like,
about. He
why-
was
yeah.
fucking fuming.
I was yelled at by
I
multiple
don't.
people,
Can you DM
more
me,
than
Andrew?
sure,
Who
by
said this?
multiple
So I
people,
wanna
but
know.
especially this one person. I was actually yelled at because I didn't think the movie was bad. Not even that I liked it, because I didn't think it
Oh.
was the worst thing I've ever seen. I was,
Of course.
and random people in school. There's like that. There was one girl in our high school who loved it. I mentioned to
Yeah,
someone else
I was
in
thinking
science
about
class. I was
her.
like, "Oh yeah, I thought the movie was kind of cool." Yeah,
All right,
you know what?
wait,
No,
wait.
I'm not even gonna say that. I
We
thought
resume.
it was
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
Here, I think it does belong in B tier. I didn't even think it was that much worse than part.
I did
7.
think it was better than Part 7, to be honest.
And in part 7. Well, I thought
I
it was a
do
little
think
bit worse. But
because it was like it was different, you know. Like 7 was almost the same as 8. I saw people give the comparisons. I was like, you know what? Yeah, fair enough. But this movie was interesting. the good-
I'm due for a rewatch. I
The
mean,
good guys
gonna
lost.
rewatch all of them.
That
I
doesn't
watched it
happen.
once and didn't care.
And I thought that was fucking amazing. That the good guys lost. No, but that was the
Yeah,
weirdest
but
thing. Like
that's
that was the
thing
mo-
about
the
the
top
bridge movie,
criticism
the
I
good
saw.
guys are always supposed to lose.
But that was
They
like
lost
don't
in
mind
The
bridge
Empire
movies.
Strikes Back.
yeah, and I thought that was cool, but they
Yeah.
lost in a less cool way because at least losing here involved like Mark Hamill being a fucking awesome dude.
Okay.
I do really like Mark Hamill, but I will say his performance in this movie was a bit disappointing. I was hoping he would be more
Yeah.
involved.
It kind of seemed like he phoned it in
That's-
here.
That's why
I think the
was very
writing was phoned in. I don't
disappointed
think it
by
was his fault.
Maybe. Okay. I don't know how much say they
that's
had
the
in
other
this.
thing. Oh, if you guys didn't know, Episode 7, Episode 8, and Episode 9 all had different writers.
Yeah,
Yeah, they definitely had different tones.
Yeah. Because they all wanted to go different directions, and they kept not getting good reviews by people, so that Disney kept replacing them, I think.
and it just
I'm
made
pretty
it
sure I heard
so
that.
much worse.
Yeah. So
a bridge
Also,
movie.
the director changed for all of them. I
It's
think.
just like the fact this served as an okay bridge movie for what could have been a really awesome 9, and they just like they like
Hmm.
retconned the whole movie, which was very disappointing to me. So
Alright,
where
I'm
we
fine
want to
with
leave
B
this?
because
I'm
I
actually fine
wanna
with it
I
even
wanna
being higher if
rewatch
you.
it.
I'd leave
Yeah,
it.
I'm definitely gonna be rewatching
I'll leave
it
it
after
below
this.
Rogue One. Why not?
Okay.
Even though
One last thing
I
with
think
Last Jedi,
because
though.
I don't think it was good enough to be A tier, but I do think it's the best of B tier. But I'll just leave it there.
Episode 9. Do we have
Episode
Wait,
9
second D tier?
was horrible.
Wait.
Episode
Okay.
9 sucked.
Oh my God, Nick.
That's the truth.
One last thing about
Oh
Last
my
Jedi.
God.
I don't know if they had any say in this, but why, when he had a pretty climactic fight scene, did Mark Hamill look like he was half asleep? He wasn't doing any real movement.
Because he was.
And
bro.
also, I get that he's old. He is old. I'm not trying to
He's
say
not
he's
that
young.
old.
He's probably
In
older
his
than my dad.
60s.
He's in his 60s.
Okay, yeah,
he's not that
he's older
old.
than definitely older than my parents. Couldn't they have gotten him to get in a little bit better shape for the role?
Nah.
Like he looked like he
That
should
was
lose
kind of
that.
the point of the character. Was
Is that he
he's been
gave up.
living on this island? Yeah, he gave up. He's kind of just done with everything.
But then they had him do a fight where he did some really cool moves, and I'm like, he's not doing that. I don't
Does
care how
this
strong
old
you say
fat
he
man
is.
really look
Mark
like he can
Hamill
do
is
that?
not doing that.
No, you're right.
Okay, that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
It was just something that bugged me a little bit. I didn't think the movie was any worse because of it, because they definitely couldn't have changed that. But it just was weird.
Oh,
Like,
something I
why
just
does this
remembered of
happen?
the sequel series for why I didn't care for them that much. It was just pandering to original Star Wars fans when they did those like really dramatic cuts to like Leia or Han
Okay.
for the first time and shit.
Yeah.
And like R2D2 and C3PO. It's like we get it.
Yeah,
We
that
grew
was
up with
uncool.
These
The reason that
characters.
that didn't
Relax.
bother me is because I actually watched 7, 8, and 9. Okay, I did when I was much younger, but I forgot about them. Since I was like older than 5 years old, I watched 7, 8, and 9 before I watched any of the other ones. I'd never actually remembered a single thing about any of the other Star Wars movies until I finished Episode 9. So all of that like pandering was more of just like, oh, here's a cool thing I'm gonna get to see later, and not, oh, that's lame that they're just
It was
using this.
just really annoying watching it because again, like I grew up when even the prequels were already out, so it wasn't like this big nostalgic tick for me. And as someone watching it now, it's just like whatever, dude. Like get on with it.
All right.
But
Speaking
anyways,
of getting on with
episode
it,
9.
God,
Holy shit, dude!
I cannot believe how
her grandfather was Sidious.
I'm very comfortable giving this an F.
I remember.
God, this movie was dog shit.
I remember
Honestly,
after watching episode 7, I saw it with Dylan here and one of our other friends, and our other friend said, "Oh, wouldn't it be so cool if Rey was a Skywalker?" And I face palmed. I was so
Cool?
mad.
No, they were
And
setting that up, and that was
somehow-
already lame.
Somehow it was worse with this ending. Somehow.
No, I'll be honest with you. The first time I watched this movie, I was like, you know, I don't really get why people hate it so much. And then I thought back on it that night. I was like, that was the worst movie I've ever watched.
okay,
Like
I
they
agree.
could
There's a lot to hate about this movie, but
the
viewing
reason
it
the plot when it
purely
was
as
like one
just-
comic line too.
viewing
what
it
inspired
purely
them.
as just meant to be like looking for cool visuals and fun action, it delivered on that part at least.
All right, I'll give you
It
this.
looked
It
really,
delivered on the
really cool.
visuals. The action was mid. Do you
the-
remember
what
the
were they called?
the Rey
Knights of Ren?
versus
The
Ren
Knights of Ren were
fight was
cool.
stupid.
Yeah, it'd be
No,
crazy
that
if
was
they
stupid,
like
but the Knights of
explored
Ren
the
were
Knights of
epic.
Ren. wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
that was cool.
Oh, I just remembered why I didn't like episode 8. Snoke. That was bullshit. Anyways.
That was weird, but I did appreciate that they killed him. It
oh,
was
yeah,
weird how
it
they
was
did, but
better
I thought
that
it
they
was
killed him.
genius that they
I
killed
thought,
him.
I thought he was a
Okay.
lame villain anyway, so I was glad.
Yeah,
of that.
that was
Yeah, I was
that's
mad
true.
that he existed.
a shame because Andy Serkis is an awesome actor. They kind of wasted him on that role.
Andy Serkis.
know-
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was him.
For you to
Crazy.
enjoy Star Wars, it's a series that you probably need some of the most suspense in disbelief. to fully immerse yourself in, right?
Suspension of disbelief.
Sorry, yeah,
I
that.
wasn't gonna correct him, but yeah.
My bad.
We got like
But
1,000 billion
they-
people listening to this, so it'd be a shame if I didn't
Oh,
correct
yeah.
him.
We have more people listening to this than there are on the planet.
Dude,
That's
aliens.
crazy.
They sent this shit up in a
Dude.
fucking spaceship just to find a more intelligent life than we have here because it's too smart for anybody.
Yeah. All right, but
This is
this
brilliant
movie
tier list.
broke my suspension and disbelief so hard. Not because like, oh, Sidious is back or any of that shit.
I'll just drop
The
it here for
fucking-
now.
The economic bullshit of the fact that Sidious was able to have armies and armies like, in multiple Star Wars series. They have said like they basically live in a capitalist society. Like the economy works pretty similar to where we are now. Where the fuck are they getting this money? He built so many ships. And then it's just like, oh yeah, it was hiding in this like storm planet or whatever. No, it fucking isn't.
It's like the ships are comprised of evil.
My
They are made
bigger
of
problem with that
nefariousness.
was, where did he get all the people? If this is a big secret, how did
Oh yeah,
he-
and what was the deal with all those like
On all of
cultists in the
them?
stands? They're like, oh, like what the fuck was that?
The Tuscan Raiders if they took a fucking blue pill. Like what the hell? It was just such a letdown too because I like honestly as much as I thought the episode 7 was pretty mid and I didn't care for episode 8 upon my first 2 viewings. I think I've seen it. I was still excited for episode 9. I was hoping it was going to pull it all together kind of in a similar way that Return of the Jedi I did for the middle 3 episodes, and it dropped the ball, and it dropped it bad. That
Drop
movie
my
was-
balls. It could drop my balls down its throat. It sucked that much.
It was bad. It was real bad. No,
Are we comfortable leaving it here?
Where are we leaving it? Let's see.
F.
I don't think it was that.
No, but I think we gotta put it somewhere, and it's obviously the worst thing here.
The only interesting part of it was the action, and I don't know if it can save it.
And
from
even
that
and
plot.
only a little bit of the action was
Yeah.
cool.
I
The movie was
really-
The worst
long.
part
Don't forget
was-
that.
The worst part was
Yeah, you remember in the end
Some
when
of
those
the
two
people
women
from-
started kissing?
I didn't even remember that, but that's beside the point. The worst part is that, so I didn't see it like opening weekend or anything. I saw it.
Oh no, I saw it on Disney
And
Plus.
at school,
Me too.
people were like, or this one person we talked about earlier, was just hyping the shit out of this movie.
Did she
she
see
was
it by
so
then?
Everyone
excited.
hated this.
Yeah, no.
How could
I
any
don't
Star Wars fan
remember
have thought that
everything about
movie
it.
was good?
Shit.
Because she thought everything Star Wars was good.
But that doesn't make
And-
sense.
And like I'm pretty sure she told me at some point that like, oh, the reveal's like insane. It's so you'll never.
Oh,
see it
it's
coming,
insane,
but
all right, and I
she
didn't
was
see it
right.
coming.
I didn't see it coming, but I wish I didn't see it when it was there
I-
either.
There's one thing I forgot. That whole
Oh.
C-3PO plot. Didn't
So
they kill off
stupid.
C-3PO for?
Yes,
I fucking remember.
that was
Okay,
so
never mind. Yeah,
stupid.
let's put this in.
They
let's
they
put this
they,
in after.
they didn't really
Let's
kill
put
him
this
off. They
in
just
after.
wiped his memory, and it was like it
That
might as
was
well be
bad.
killing him.
That's killing him off.
Yeah.
Also, they
Considering
they were
was
like,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
we're killing
That
off
is his
Chewbacca, by the
character.
way," and then they didn't kill off Chewbacca.
Yeah,
That was lame.
Yeah. The
Somebody kill off the cool stuff.
sequels were written by 3 different people, all on different drugs. They were not
all needing to be
Not
on
it.
drugs apparently.
drugs, I guess. All right, so that's the tier list.
Here we have it, the
We're
completed
right,
tier
you're
list.
all wrong. It's that simple.
These
Indeed.
Don't
kids
even
hate.
try to argue with us because we're
We
right.
feed off of the hate you
Dumbass.
give us.
Our tier list is
Idiots.
perfect.
Fuck. This is why we're sending this podcast to aliens. Y'all are too dumb.
Yeah. All right.
You think
So
it's-
Speaking
now,
of,
think it's
how the fuck
stupid.
long has this
They
episode
Take a
been going?
second,
Holy
think about
shit.
it. You're fucking stupid. Go shove your head in the toilet and have your mom fucking
Dylan,
flush
calm down.
it.
It's okay. It's okay, Dylan. Calm down.
And you know what? I bet
No.
y'all even forgot what the
people
fuck
are
the
so
main
dumb.
theme of this episode was supposed to be. It's too late for that.
theme?
We've been recording for an hour 15.
Oh shit.
So what I'm
Okay.
gonna
We-
do instead
we
is
should do the other tier list.
a different time.
We definitely
We've been
don't
going
have
for.
time to do
If
it.
we took like an hour on this one, dude,
Was it an
and the
hour?
other one is so much longer. All right, yeah, okay. Here's what y'all can expect next time. we gonna discuss what the topic would have been. We're gonna discuss all things music. What's good music? What's
Are
bad
you hosting
music?
again next week?
Not
time?
next time. The next time I'm hosting, we're gonna discuss music. What's good? What's bad? Why Starbomb is the greatest invention since sliced bread, and which of these
Although,
songs
to be
are good?
fair, we
Which is
should do
all
an
of them, but
anime,
how good they
an
are.
isekai tier list, too, because I'll tell you one thing: there's two good isekai in this world. That's Konosuba and the Mystic Crystal. And
Look
if
them
you want
both
to
up.
disagree with me, you can
I'm
lick
gonna-
these nuts, bitch.
I'm gonna be
Like,
honest. I'm gonna have to
it's
sit
that
out of that
simple.
one because it's gonna be every single time me trying to defend something that I know you
I'm
haven't
joking, Drew.
seen. So there's no
I don't-
point in defending.
I'm not
Yeah,
joking.
The whole bit of that tier list would be to put them both S and the rest F. Like, I'm not. We're not gonna actually do that shit. Beside the point.
Yeah, that's a good idea to
Um,
not. Alright, so
yeah, this
that's
is the
gonna
definitive Star Wars.
and yeah,
Shit.
that's our
Ooh,
tier list.
actually,
I'll do a
Bad
final
Batch.
read off for
The
listeners rather
have
than
any of you guys
watchers.
seen the Bad Batch? Just out of curiosity.
Oh no, I haven't.
I think I have.
Okay. I've seen 11 episodes of it. It's not on this tier list, but if I had to put it somewhere, probably C. It's got some
Really?
really interesting
liked it
shit
too, okay.
and then some very disinteresting stuff.
Hmm.
Like they added this little girl as a main character just so the show had a plot, and it's not interesting. But the Bad Batch themselves are pretty cool.
That's a shame.
Anyways,
Anyway, alright, one final read off. We got Star Wars Episode 3 in S tier, the only S tier. We got Star Wars The Clone Wars and The Mandalorian in A tier. We've got Return of the Jedi. Or I said Episode 3 before, I'm going to keep to that. We got Episode 6, we got Rogue One, we got Episode 8, Episode 7, Episode 2, and Episode 4 in B tier. We've got Solo, Episode 1, and Episode 5 in C. It feels weird to put... Whatever. I don't want to complain too much about Solo because I liked it, but like, it was weird. And then, alright, and then we got Rebels in D, we got Episode 9 in F. F for fuck that movie.
yeah.
Alright, that's gonna do it for this
Gotta
episode of
include that
Mountain
word.
Dumbasses. Thank you all for listening. DM me your name on
Fucking
Twitter.
idiots.
DM me your address on Twitter.